will be returned to their families.
There is little dignity for the dead here. Most of the victims have been removed, but their possessions are still not collected. We find a wallet, empty, in the fields where the wreckage fell. The debris covers a huge area. Parts of the plane are scattered over several miles.
This was the cockpit. Look at it.
The front wheel embedded. And when we reach the heart of the crash scene, you can see why officials fear many passengers may never be found. Around 100 are still missing. As for the others, officials here said today that 192 victims had been found, their bodies placed in refrigerated cars on this train. We questioned the driver.
How long will the bodies be kept here for?
I don't know, he says. The uncertainty leading to more frustration today. We can't tolerate this, said Malaysia's Prime Minister. But the gun-wielding, self-styled Prime Minister of this breakaway region told me he is trying to treat the victims humanely. And that they will remain under the control of his pro-Russian rebels until international investigators arrive in the coming days. Alexander Borodai says his men removed the plane's black boxes on Friday and will hand them over as well. For now, a few European monitors are the only Westerners here, closely guarded by the rebels, the very men accused of shooting down the plane.
And tonight it's reported that a Dutch team tasked with identifying the dead will get here tomorrow amid a growing international outcry over how the victims are being treated. Esther?
All right, Kier, we turn now to the question of who fired the missile that shot down the plane. The U.S. Embassy in Kiev said today the intelligence community has confirmed the authenticity of intercepted communications allegedly between pro-Russian separatists who claim responsibility. More now from NBC's Tom Costello.
Around the world this Sunday, growing anger at Russian-backed separatists accused of shooting down Malaysia Flight 17. Today, Secretary of State Kerry said U.S. satellites pinpointed the launch from rebel territory.
We picked up the imagery of this launch. We know the trajectory. We know where it came from.
Secretary Kerry said video and photographs released by the Ukrainian government but not verified by NBC News show 3 mobile Buk missile launchers leaving rebel territory headed for Russia after the shootdown. At least 1 missile is missing.
We know for sure that the team was Russian. There were Russian citizens operating Buk M1.
On its website, the U.S. Embassy in Kiev said last weekend Russia sent a convoy of military equipment with up to 150 vehicles, including tanks, armored personnel carriers, artillery, and multiple rocket launchers, to the separatists. Among the dead, 28 Australians. Today, the Australian Prime Minister directed the blame at Moscow.
Russian-controlled territory, Russian-backed rebels, quite likely a Russian-supplied weapon. Russia can't wash its hands of this.
While separatists claim they've recovered the black boxes, they may be of little help in determining who's responsible. So far, outside investigators, including a small U.S. team, have not been allowed in. Veteran crash experts say the scene appears compromised.
It's obvious that people have walked through that wreckage, they've pilfered the wreckage, and so now the question is, how much of the evidence that this crime team would be looking for still exists?
The head of Emirates Air, one of the world's largest airlines, calls the shooting down of Flight 17 an outrage. Tonight he's calling for an international investigation and for airlines to take a more direct role in determining when it's too unsafe to fly over a war zone. Lester.
All right, Tom Costello tonight, thank you. And with Russia accused of being complicit in the downing of the jet, what's the response from Moscow? NBC's Jim Asada is there.